let's see.
About this? Oh, about Indira. What about the web? The web?
Well,
Indira's net,
that.
You were talking about that.
I mean, we talked about the little brats, the little brats of the Mandelbrot.
Yeah.
And
which is kind of holographic because the hole is in the part.
And each one of those little brats is like us running around in this virtual mind space.
Yes.
And
there's an analogy there.
And oh God, I thought you were gonna kick that right off. Yeah. Anyway, what?
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, Leibniz.
Yes.
My buddy Wilhelm.
Yes.
Raised the question whether these little brats that we are, have windows or not.
Yes.
Now we think we think we have windows because our eyes are our windows.
Yes.
But maybe they are distracting us. And like they say in the Bible, comes only from the Bible, that New and Old Testaments, I think, if your eye offends you, you should rip it out. Well, I'm not suggesting that we should rip out our eyes. What I'm suggesting is that we need to have our eyes also be able to look inward.
Well, this is traditional.
Into the microcosm. Yeah, it's all traditional mysticism.
Yes.
Mysticism, Sufi, Kabbalah, everything else, and that's somehow this is all coordinated. Well, I also say,
is the microphone on, by the way?
The microphone is on, gentlemen.
Go ahead, Dave. Just want to make sure. You sure? Okay.
Yeah, he can. We let him drink. Once he's got the microphone turned on, Kim is allowed to drink.
Okay.
Join us in our Glenfiddich. And
okay, you're talking about the eye, but what about who has had the Indira's net and necklace?
Oh, well,
because I have that idea.
That's also that that there aren't any windows. They we're just reflecting each other, and you see each one is a little round mirror.
Yeah.
On this elaborate
thing. Okay, now that is exactly the modern cosmology, because that is exactly these future horizons are like the beads, and everyone has their own, but they're overlapping if they're intermeshed. So we share. I mean, the overlap is much greater than the difference.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And
they all mesh together. So that image fits.
God is a circle, whose circumference is nowhere.
Well,
nowhere.
In fact, God is a sphere. It's actually a sphere.
Sphere.
It's a two-dimensional circle.
It's a 10-dimensional sphere.
And it may even be a 10 because I'm only talking. It involves what's called fiber bundle theory.
Yeah, but that's just. I mean, God wouldn't God be the metasphere?
Yeah.
The metasphere
right.
where all the universes, the multiverses.
Analogically.
Yeah. Okay, I'm speaking literally.
I'm
speaking literally.
Jack keeps
the brain of God, the material brain of God, is his membrane, is a spherical horizon, which has thermodynamic properties and therefore has informational entropic properties. And it's not if it's not in thermal equilibrium, from Valentini's theory, then it has consciousness. And Seth Lloyd at MIT shows that all horizons act as quantum computers, as computers. And they can be conscious. In fact, I say they're sentient.
Is that what Lloyd is saying?
Yes. If you look at his Scientific American, any horizon, black hole or cosmic, outside the black hole,
wave guide. The horizon.
Yes. But it's also a computer. He has Scientific American. Is the black hole the ultimate laptop?
All right, but if this is a multiverse, let me just get this. I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
If this is a multiverse comprised of an infinite number of universes, and let's say each one of these universes is a little bubble, right? Just a bubble.
Wait, it's a little trickier than that. You got to look at Max Tegmark's picture. He makes it very clear. There are a bunch of bubbles like champagne cocktail.
Okay.
On each bubble, they're like little circles on each bubble. That's our observable universe, and there's a lot of them.
Right.
That's level one. The little circles inscribed on the bubble is what we see. That's our observable universe,
Right.
and that's observer dependent.
Right.
So it's like a bunch of overlapping
So is
circles.
the champagne glass, the perimeter of the champagne glass, the mind of God? Or is that
No,
God?
no. The mind of God is just on that circle. That's a horizon. There may be other horizons too, but I'm talking about the horizon. The horizon I'm talking about is only level 1. You have to look at Max Tegmark's picture because he makes it very clear. There are 4 levels of the multiverse. And I'm using conventional Max Tegmark picture. The horizon I'm talking about is our personal De Sitter dark energy horizon. That is a computer, okay? And if you think of one little bubble in a bunch of bubbles, one little bubble and one little expanding one little circle. Actually, it's a fixed radius circle because I'm talking about the future asymptotic value. That circle is a computer, and on that computer is a conscious cosmic mind. Okay, which is projecting inward to the center of the circle. We're at the center of the circle. It's projecting us, all material fields, our kind of holographic images of what's going on in that circle.
But that says to me, maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying. It says to me that each universe has its own God.
Yes, but there may be some super thing too. Not only each universe, each individual in principle does, but they're very close. You know, and now and this has to be investigated, yeah, but that's exactly what it's saying. Now, there may be some federation of gods, and maybe some, I don't know yet, you know, but all I know is what I know. All I'm talking about is this very precise model that's data-driven, you know, and that there could be, well, that's like Hinduism, isn't it? The infinity of gods. Is that Hinduism?
Which is also incoherent.
No, it's coherent. It depends on what level you're talking. That's resolution. It's coherent.
Right, well,
it's coherent in here. This is all coherent. Now, what's that universe next door? I don't know.
Well,
you know, you may want too much.
It's incoherent if you come from a monotheistic point of view. Yeah.
But I'm just saying I'm being Joe Friday. Joe Friday. This is what the physics is. This is what observation is leading us to the best battle-tested information. Now you can go beyond. You know, I don't want to get beyond what I can say fairly precisely. And this is very precise because it's Seth Lloyd, it's Jacob Bekenstein,
but Jack,
it's De Sitter, it's Max Tegmark, it's Sean. All these
now
guys.
we're reverting back to
the box.
Hour number 2. You're going back. You keep trying to run back inside your box.
Because anybody if they jump out, open, and once you open Pandora's box, anything can happen, and you get the whole New Age nonsense.
No kidding.
So you get New Age nonsense.
Well,
you got a bunch of noise. You get chaos.
Right.
You get chaos. We don't want chaos. we want order.
Well, that's why you have the zipper, Jack. That's why we need the zipper.
You know, here we're trying. I'm trying. You know, you've opened the lid to Pandora's box, and I'm sitting on the box.
Yes, you are.
Not letting those demons out.
Yeah. Right. Right. And
you know, I know where to stop. Okay, here's the difference. See, I know the limits of my own knowledge. But they said the idea.
I don't think you do, Jack.
Well,
not if you're the mind of God. Not if you're an image of the mind of God. You don't know.
So we were discussing the idea. I brought up the idea of in the multiverse, each two-dimensional sphere, expanding sphere, would basically be the brain of God.
Yeah, but wait a minute. It doesn't expand. It reaches a constant because of the finite speed of light and the acceleration of space. There's an effect. The horizon means that the sphere approaches a constant area rather quickly, and that constant area corresponds to the finite channel capacity of the mind of God, like the 10 to 123 bits. See, it's not the balloon. The balloon stops expanding in effect, and that's our observable universe. That's the light barrier, because the speed of light is finite. So that's you can't understand that by ordinary high school geometry.
It's contradictory. I mean,
no, it's not. It's only contradictory because you don't understand the general theory of relativity.
Admittedly.
In warp space-time, that's the way it works. You cannot understand in terms of naive notions of flat geometry.
Okay.
All right.
So go ahead.
I'm gonna give you a name here, Jack, that you haven't heard of.
Who's that?
That's Owen Barfield.
I certainly have not heard of Owen Barfield.
Owen Barfield.
Who is
you
he?
know where he came from?
Where? Here's he from? Is he a legitimate scholar?
Isn't he a theologian?
He was one of the Cambridge Christian